I'm a pick to go, I don't want to pay. So how is the driver getting paid? Right? So on that point, I'd want to say sometimes when you're building, I feel like most of the times when you're coming up with solutions, we are using so much research that we're not building with the user, we're building for the user, right? So let's use an example like, another example like Spotify, right? When Daniel was building it, alikuwa like, okay, I just need to build something that connects the musicians to the guy who's listening to the music, right? But if you're not building to the artist, right now there's an artist who's being paid just $1 a month, right? So at the end of the day, it's not solving this artist problem because you just thought of a solution of, oh, I think if you just put this up here, it's solving this thing, but you've not really built with this person. So I think, okay, if you're building something like Uber, have a driver, have someone else who's being the consumer, right? So have them use that app and like take notes from that. So you build a solution, okay, it works, but then you continue doing the research, you're building this person, right? So if an example of, because also as I said when we began, I'm a creative, right? So because I started doing interior design, sometimes when you build something, you've built a room, you have to see how it functions. So you come there in the morning, you see how people are working. At night, is that place all day, right? So if you're using this tab, have these people use that app in the morning and in the evening. Then see, they'll give you notes and tell you, hey, okay, this guy got me there, but I felt some type of way because of this and this, right? Yeah, so I feel like human-centered design, you have to build with the user and not for the user. Yeah,
100%. The lady behind you.
Oh, Mufasa. Let me stand.
Yeah.
Well, Bolt. Bolt is nice, but I'm tired of that brand. If one of you talks about mobility again, I swear, I'm leaving this room. I was telling my friend that we are looking at the emails. So, hi, my name is Rahab. I am so glad to be here. Hi, homeless. You know, I call him homeless man, but he's a fantastic host. We are focusing too much on safety, mobility, consumer. Fantastic topic. I am not a coder. I've never coded in my life, never been interested. I really don't care, no offense. I am a fantastic marketer though. Yeah, so where I work, I have to deal with the consumer for your products. And you guys, you get a bit emotional about your products and feedback. So that's why also, in terms of what you guys do, and you do brilliant work, don't get me wrong, it's very hard for other departments to work with you guys. Yes? Yeah. She mentioned a fantastic thing about going to the field. Yeah? Now, if I was a finance person, I'd have a problem with that. Because number one, money, have you seen the economy? Number two, how she talks to the finance guy to convince him why this is important for the particular product of the particular user who's using this product is also another challenge. Have you seen it, guys? How many tech things have you mentioned? Did you Roblox? Did you what? That jargon that I don't even understand. I'm just looking at you like, where? Okay. Yes. Speak to me like a human being. Number one. Number two, when it comes to marketing, when I give you feedback, do not get emotional about your product, Yawa. It is for the consumer, not you. I get it. You built it. You had sleepless nights. Probably even lost a hairline or a wig or two. But that being said, sis, step out of it. It's almost like the founder's dilemma, yeah? You're holding on too tightly, yeah? So what am I saying? Sometimes you guys have a problem with working with other departments which are very, very important for your product to go to the consumer and the consumer to be a loyalist for your product. Learn to work with other people without speaking jargon. Thank you. And then also in the same space, I was at Nikon. When was Nikon? We were doing what? Last week, Cyril? Yeah. I do a lot of events and by extension I go to a lot of them. One of the things that we're not discussing about building products for the consumer and them being human-centered is that also other consumers want to attack other consumers on your fantastic technology. For example, EA games. We're not talking about the fact that the other 50% is the most harassed when it comes to online games. Cyberbullying. Yeah, that's also part of tech that has been built with us, right? And the most annoying thing I've ever seen in any room forgetting this industry alone is that woman who's on the table and doesn't say jack. What are you doing there? Like, honestly, like I have been in so many meetings. My God, I cannot even believe how many I've been in my 15 years of marketing. There is a woman there. She's a coder. She's actually maybe even the fiber of that particular product. Whether she's building, she's the techie, or she's building it because it's her idea herself. And because she's just surrounded by a bunch of big boys club, she doesn't say anything. And to be honest, she's the only human-centered kind of litmus paper, probably, and I'm saying this one very loosely, that can actually bring that human-centeredness to that particular app. We're having a discussion in Alice's car as we're coming, and also that lovely lady, she does psychology. Love it, babe, love it. And we were talking about, I can't remember, we spoke about a lot of things while I was being busy looking at the co-driver and trying not to get us late over here. But we did discuss an element that stuck in my head, which is, okay, the train is about to start. I'm digressing. Hello. Hey, sis. So we did discuss about, oh God, I have lost it. Yes, metaverse. Thank you. Oh, babe. Hello, Abe. Love it to say yeah. Hello, darling. Kotani in the room. Yeah, we did talk about metaverse, and I keep on seeing more and more worlds being built, products being built, and the woman is not saying anything in the room, but also the consumers who are using the products are attacking the women in that particular space. Yeah. So what are we doing about that? Yeah. What? Because also she mentioned very nicely. I mean, we have a very corrupt government. I mean, I'm sorry. KRA tu wanaangalianga taxes sometimes. Yeah. So what are we doing about our brothers and men in our life who come to these spaces and they attack us? Yeah? My driver the other day was attacked by a woman. It was the funniest shit ever. I know I shouldn't laugh. But dang, that chick is for the ghetto. Anyway, but he's called Benjamin. Lovely man, fantastic wife and children, driven me for very many years. But unfortunately, he got hijacked by a woman. Very fantastic, Vera Sidika babe. By the way, she did a thing, gun and all. Just like the movies, ta-ta. But Ben is okay, and that's fantastic. Give him some money so that he can sort himself, out. And now he has his new car. So, we always think, yay, it's just us. But there are guys who are going through it. Yeah. And lucky enough, they had good mothers who raised them well. So they're trying to do the right thing. But us here, to my decides, we're empowered. Watch out to attack you, engineer. But I'm raising all these issues, and I know there are a lot of them, but I want us to think about human-centeredness also in terms of the male, beyond us. I know it's a woman thing. I get it, sis. We are together. But our brothers, and I have a son, so this is important for me. It's important to also think about human-centeredness for the men. Men don't like to talk a lot, and things like that nature, and they don't want to look, a certain way. So are we considering them also? Yeah, because they are not all bad, baby. They're fantastic people. I mean, they have built amazing things and done amazing things for us here. I'm sure you have fantastic fathers and brothers, yes? Yeah. So what are we doing for the men? One. What are we doing about human-centeredness in other spaces? Cybersecurity, bullying. Consumers who are basically not even black on black crime. That was a different situation, but it was a consumer on consumer crime. Yeah. What are we doing about that? Yeah. And also, forgetting online, offline also we are still experiencing these things. So let's not act as if this is new, but it's something that needs to be solved. Yeah. And lastly, work with other departments a bit better, like marketing. Yeah. I'm the guru over here, so I help you guys to push your products. Hello. Hi, sis. Yeah. And also, how are we working with also other countries? Like I have the blessing of working pan-Africanly, but how are we working with other? How are we onboarding other people who can help us in this cause or innovation and fantastic human elementness? And yeah, because like, for example, you can go to Japan. When you have things in 3, that's an issue. You have affected their culture, you have insulted them. The things are packed in 4. As in, there are these small things about culture over here also that also affect our human centeredness. Yeah? And that is my thesis. Thank you. Fantastic. Go back to the studio.
No, before you sit down, maybe you can help us understand in terms of working together with other departments, what you mean by that. Because I guess some of us are in the same space right now, and we are wondering, I thought we've been working with the other departments, is right?
Yeah, you're gonna feedback. I have a thesis for that.
Yeah, so maybe just help us understand, because we want to build, human-centered designs. Yeah.
You guys are great. You're fantastic. We love you. Until okay, good. So you when you're working with, okay, let me say it from a marketing perspective. If I want to do a pull campaign, as I call it, if I want to convince a consumer to pick a particular product, because I feel as if it's solving a problem in their lifestyle and I want them to be a loyalist, as I call it, is that I speak to them in terms of their pain points. If I'm a finance person, my biggest pain point would be like, Ati, what one in the market? How many are those people? How is that going to affect our P&L? If I'm not even lucky enough to have a finance person who talks some sense to our CEO, then that's a whole issue, because now I have to be the person as marketing to convince them why our coders or developers need this. So always try to see from the other person's perspective, not because you're trying to be them or anything, but you're trying to understand their challenge, and then therefore you're able to address their challenge as you're getting your shit solved. You get? Yeah? For example, I have done hackathons, many of them. Some of you have attended at Adenian Labs. Thank you. Fantastic hackathons, by the way. But my goal, always, whenever I was talking to the finance guy, was trying to make them understand that the money I was using for the hackathon, what kind of ROI would benefit the firm, and by extension, it would add more money to the company. One. When I was talking to the CEO, my goal was always what kind of publicity we can get from this, and by extension, how it can affect either our portfolio for the company, whether we are in that season of investor thing, or we are in that season of we need a lot of devs. You get? Yeah? Because the CEO is all about how is my company appealing enough to other people, and by extension sustainable. Yeah? So you have to, like when I'm talking to a coder, I am always, or maybe somebody in computer science realm, yeah, like most of you techies, I'm always trying to speak to them from a point of, I feel as if you built it a bit this way, it could solve the problem a bit faster, and for the consumer's perspective, it would be a bit more convenient. You get? Yeah, I'm usually trying to tell them that, beyond them just creating something complicated that in a 1, 2, 3 step doesn't make sense for a human being on a daily living, busy life, mom life, whatever kind of space. So try to see the other person's perspective and then find a middle point. That is very important. Most coders just come in and like, yo, I need this. I am brainy. I am speaking jargon. It's making sense to me. So it should make sense to you. So let's go, baby. No. No, sis. Back it up. Speak to me like, okay, if it's marketing, you need to convince me and tell me, hey, I have this particular product, it's offering this particular solution. If we center on talking to the consumer about how it's solving this solution, then by extension, marketing can, vavavoom this thing, and then the company can look nice. You get? Like always try to find out what your other departments are doing to also help you guys succeed. You don't work in isolation or vacuum. You don't. I'm sorry. Once the product is out of your hands, it goes to the other departments. Yeah, winner. Thank you.
So I just want to add on something. So that's bring on the question on who is actually coming up with these human designs. Because coders, I'm sorry to say, if they're asked, I know you're humans, but being on the field is not the biggest strength that we have, yeah? So you're asked to build a green button. Just build a green button as long as it's a green button with these color codes of green. You don't ask why is it a green button and not a red button, right? You just want to finish that green button and move on to the yellow line, yeah? But you don't ask. You don't even want to know how that green button performs. Yeah, so are we the best people to actually come up with these human-centered kind of approaches, designs, or implementation of data? Who is in the best position to actually do this? Because now I feel like, yeah. So what does, and then God, it's same WhatsApp group. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Alexa.
Yes, I like whenever they are doing their program and feel like blessed to attend.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that they involve everyone so that they can get all their perspectives. And then somebody who is doing this like a moderator from the back.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we need that.
Yeah.
It cannot be just you. It cannot just be you. It cannot just be you.
No.
We have to.
Yeah.
And the more we work together, the more it's also easier for us to like go across a desk and be like, hey, I'm thinking this. What's your perspective?
Yeah.
I want to solve this. What's your perspective? Yeah.
Mm.
It can't be just you, just me. We don't have silos of data, so why do you have silos of human efficiency?
100%. I agree. We need to work with other departments, but how is that going? Really, how is that going? We need to work with marketing. We have some here. We need to work with, I don't know, finance. We need to work with all these people, but how is that going? Seriously, how is that going? Yeah. Oh, we have so many hands. Where's the microphone? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Kate Dennis. So this has been my question every time. I'm a creative who, because of circumstances, kamokoa teki. My point is, like, I'm a hybrid between creative side and tech. So I come to find a challenge where in the tech space, like the late Dyson said, there are two kind of people in this world. There is a frog. The frog look at details at a granular level, and he knows how to assemble like a nest and climb on that leaf and lay some eggs. Very specific. Then, Dyson also said, most of the people whom in the tech ecosystem, the founders, co-founders, those people are the ones who are selected. But not knowing there is a but, with the knowledge of the toad, looks at everything. With the knowledge of the zebra, giraffe, every animal, because it hovers on top of them. But these people, they're never seen. In the table, they're never asked a question, and when they speak, they don't know shish. So my question is, why do we look at the frogs and don't look at this person who has a lateral kind of thinking with the ultimate knowledge and choose the frog whom at a certain point at Africa, the frog will die and the bird will come and eat that frog. I'm saying is, let's also see, like Rehab has pointed out, look at the generalist, that person who has knowledge in all these other different sectors, who can come and give you like a more human-centered kind of design in any of your products. So tuangalie the birds, let's see the birds. Let's note who are the birds. And you can see them, I can see them. Do you see them? That's a question.
My name is Cindy. So I'm actually in agreement, full agreement with Dennis, because I personally come from a purely biological background, genomics, genetics, and then I found myself in cybersec and server administration and all that. And now it's very tough because, first of all, with pure IT guys, they don't know what I've done, computer science, computer engineering, I don't know all those things. They see you as someone you don't know anything, just first of all because of your background. So you don't even have a voice to speak out. And that's a very it's very annoying actually, because I hate this prideness that comes with IT. It's just a field. It's just like marketing. We don't have to work as if we're in the clouds just because we're in IT. No, it's just a field in itself, and it's one of the things that makes IT department be such a pain in the ass for the other departments, because even when when they're trying to give out this idea, they come with such a superiority note to it, like, oh, you're just in marketing, what do you know? I'm telling you about this thing. And eventually we forget, yes, we're the ones that are creating the product, but people are the ones who are going to use it, and we need the marketing people who are going to be talking to the people in the ground. So when they're told these people don't even know how to use internet, and you're creating a web app or something, you're given ideas. So we have this, even for someone like me, it's so hard to even get a job in the tech space, because you might have studied, you might have done certifications, but the bare fact that you're coming from a biological background, people are like, you haven't done computer science, you're not legitimate for the job. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with also cybersecurity. So when you even go to an event for security, people are just talking jargon. You don't understand something, and we're having this tool. We're studying about this attack. I don't know, this happened. We're talking about, these Trojans and all that things. And we forget that even these solutions that we are building for people, we're just building for someone who doesn't even know what internet is. Like, they just know Google. They don't know how it works. And that's the problem that we have in IT tech. And there's one of my mentors, he's a businessman. He told me the problem with you guys, even in cybersecurity, you focus so much on the systems, you forget it's the humans that are the weakest links. And yeah, so you might create this very fancy firewall, deploying all those things, and yet it is going to be compromised by a simple email, which was a fish. So that's the problem that we have in IT. So thank you. So like, just a normal email where someone tells me, click on this, and someone will just click on it. And that's how an entire system with very fancy firewalls and whatever has been compromised. So yeah. And also that's why you find, so even when it comes to even the finance department, when you even approaching them, even when you're approaching like your CEO or something, even giving them out the idea so that they can get the reason why they want to invest in it, we forget that they don't know these things. So we go to them on a purely technical background, we forget to lay it down to them on layman's. So it's the same thing with all those things. Even when you read about blogs, when you're looking for tech blogs and you're just looking for something simple to understand, but the author has written so many things, you're frustrated because you're just trying to understand this, and you're taken in this very coily path. So that's one of the challenges that we are having in the tech space. And also, guys, it's very frustrating when I have to now prove myself twice that, yeah, I know I'm not from IT, but I know this thing and I know that thing. Hey, make it easy for us. We are also people like you, so we can also have, so even in tech meetings and in hackathons and all that, we can also find a level ground for us to even to talk about things, because we also have ideas, and trust you me, we also know those things. It's just that we're not from an IT background, and it's very frustrating that you have all the time to prove yourself. Yes, I'm not from the IT background, but I know this and I know that. So yeah, we as tech people, we should try and lower down the pride and all that walking around. Yeah, so we shouldn't feel ourselves so much. Yeah, just because you're doing so many brilliant things in tech doesn't mean that there are people who are not doing brilliant things outside there. Yeah, so we should, because my goodness, tech, it's like we're in level 99 and the other people are in level 10 or something, and yet we're the ones who are building solutions for people in level 2, but we are also degrading them just because they're not in tech. Yeah, so it's a challenge that we have in ourselves in the tech space. Yeah, which we should work on. Yeah.
As someone in security, I feel personally attacked. but I hear her, yeah. And we had those issues when we started the women in security. We'd have guys come and show us how to work, and guys are like, what is Linux? And you've done the whole presentation for 3 hours on Linux, and people are still installing the operating system. Yeah, and I hear you on that, and well, very, very sorry about that on a security level. I don't know about the other people. Yeah, there's another point. Yeah, you too. It's everywhere. It's every part of tech. Yeah. Well, on a defense, on a tech defense, sometimes I think we are out of touch with other humans. Yeah. Yeah. No. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So due to time. Oh wow. Yeah, time has flown. You guys also African timers. What time did you come? You human. Africa was talking here. Yeah, no, we appreciate the input. I think what the whole essence of this, by the way, this was our first meetup. We are trying. This was very good. Thank you very much. Okay. And I know you've had some accents here. It's South African. Sorry, don't start. Don't even start. Okay. Yeah, you wanted to say something? Oh, you have a burning question. Okay. Yes.
You asked what.
Oh, you're still on that. Okay, Sarah.
Hear me out.
That's okay.
Okay, so my question is, when you go to Bolt, you usually see this section where they're saying that Bolt for women or something. So, one other thing with it is usually if the price is less than 200 shillings, that thing usually pay 50. So my question is, who is the driver of that Bolt for women?
It's not actually the problem with that I saw when it was launched. It was the fact that why do women have to pay for safety? That was the bigger question.
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
Is the driver a woman?
Yeah.
So why would the driver who is a woman charge another woman more because they want to be safe?
But it's not the woman determining the cost. Well, it was the company that was determining the cost.
And how do they know that? Okay, so here's another question I have. When it's Bolt for women and then I'm working with my girlfriend or something, and she calls for Bolt for women, am I allowed to go into the Bolt for women?
You have to ask Bolt that. I am not sure.
No,
Yeah? You're not Bolt? Sorry.
I'm actually a dev. Devs usually just sit on a computer all day. But
Exactly.
these are questions I'm asking.
Those are the human-centered design. Those are questions that should have come to the Bolt designer who's doing that Bolt for women. If a woman orders an Uber and he has a man, should they be allowed into the, or is there another option for them where like I'm a woman but I have a man with me? Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah. So before I close, so this was an initial meetup for 80 women in tech. So thank you for coming. This is an opening to Mefungwa Milango. We have opened all the doors, and it's not just one area of technology, and I know you guys know how AT operates. It's an API model. You build whatever you want on it. That's how we're running the women in, the AT women in technology. It's an open API. You build whatever you want on it, all right? So, and we'll be talking about, I think Tumi will be discussing when we'll have our initial hackathons, when we'll have initial discussions, what's coming next. But this is to appreciate the input, very safe space. Marketing has come and talked. Ukona nini? I can see ukona maoni. You have maonis. Fiona, you wanted to say something as well. Fiona she's also part of the team. She'll also be helping us with the closing remarks. I know you want to go home with that, guys. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna hand it over to Tumi. This Tumi, she's a person who, sorry? Yeah. Oh, okay. Go on. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll try to keep it short and sweet. Like when everyone was talking, we were talking about, oh no, people were sharing about perspectives and feedback. And actually, also you, when you were sharing about the different side we should look into, it got me back to when Tumi first shared about Airbnb. And I think what immediately came to mind was like, what about the host? I feel like they're even more insecure because as much as I know your name, I don't even know your bank details, but you know where my house is. You can come and bring people, especially with all these parties and yeah. So yes, and then also I also wanted to share, like, yes, we were talking about gender and mobility, but then also when you said interior design, I was like, even me, I have background in architecture. So when I was doing the course in UX, they really focused on disability, and then I got to understand like, wow, as people who are like able to say, like, we really just, we don't consider people who are disabled, and not just disabled permanently, but even temporal disability or even situational disability. Yes, yeah. Yes, so it's just interesting. Just, it all goes back to when we talk about human-centered design, empathy, just trying to understand what the other person is feeling and thinking and their pain points. And then you begin to, like, even check yourself and you're like, I didn't think about that. And yeah, then you begin now to design. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Tumi, then you can do the closing remarks.
All right, guys, thank you so much. This has been such an awesome discussion. Really love it. And yes, in spirit of collaboration, the hackathon discussion is going to be handled by Cynthia. But before I even hand over the mic to her, I just want to stress that in development, whatever we're building, please never exclude psychologists. Human-centered design, that's where it starts. They understand. So when we're doing research, right, devs listen, but they don't really listen properly. Psychologists are able to analyze and really understand what is being communicated, because empathy really, what empathy communicates is that you need to understand what the user is communicating to you even without them actually verbalizing it. You know, you need to, there's a certain extent that you need to reach the mind of the person you're communicating to in order for you to know how to build. So yes, she was very right. When we're building, it's not only the researchers that are going to the market and then coming back to the devs to say, do this. We need to all go there, and we need to hear it from different perspectives so that when we come back to a round table, we actually build for people and not for our own desires. But thank you so much. I'm going to hand it over to Sylvia. She's so fantastic with Deborah.
Hi again. Hello, yes, Sylvia here. So, so now we'll be having more. This has been a very productive discussion, yeah? Yeah, I think we can all agree. This is the best way to spend evenings. I mean, I don't know about you, but I just feel rejuvenated. So, in that spirit, we'll be having more of these meetups, discussions, and hackathons, things of the sort, yes? So since we are all here together, I think we can just decide, for example, when we could have our next or first hackathon, yes. And as you've heard, tech people we have had hackathons. Anyone can come to the team, everyone's input. It's about creating a solution. It's not about showing your prowess in whichever language. No, it's creating solutions. It's solving problems, yeah? And that one we can all do. Like we've been told, we have a lot to learn. But we're learning and we're in this together, right? Yes. So, we'll just get to the point. This train thing. I'm a real victim. I'll work on it. So our hackathon, our suggestion was in January, but we want to know what would be best. Weekends, weekdays. A hackathon. Interesting. How many days? 3. The idea was, Yeah.
Wow, it's a nice word.
Yeah. Yes.
Human-centered conversation.
Exactly. Yes, so since females hold a lot of space in homes, 3 days would be a lot. Would be asking for quite a lot for people who hold spaces in. I'll use that somewhere. Thank you. That's a very good point. So just a day, just one. Yeah? One is okay, yes? Popcorn suggestions. Yes, this is where everyone talks.
I think it's Fiona. I think you. Oh, Tumi. Oh, Fiona. Oh, yeah. Woo! Techies. Okay. So, I think you talked about a WhatsApp group earlier for everyone. Because I was part of another hackathon where it started the day before, but the first part was virtual. And then we got time to go and do research and actually like organize ourselves, etc. And then we met on the day to, do the Git pushes, etc. And then now, before we even developed everything, we organized ourselves. Who will go to that place? Who will go to that other place? What did you find out? So we don't have to be here to do that part. Once we've found a way to organize ourselves, then that can start. And it was structured in such a way that the first part of the virtual meetup, you don't talk about code, solution, or anything. You don't even touch on, okay, we'll solve this by no. We just talk about the problem. And then the second session, we now suggested like 10 solutions. Then we argued which one would best answer that. And then we had a few minutes to actually talk to people there, and they answered our questionnaires. Then that way, even as this community, will have like, whenever we are solving something in health, there's like people who can actually answer our questions. Then that way, on the day, it's now we are focused on how it works and how it's solved.
Big points there. Very good suggestions. People agree, yeah? That's a very good suggestion. Yeah, we don't have to meet before, but we can agree, just have that virtual call or something, ensure we're on the same page, enough time to research, then we'll just meet later for the actual thing. That makes sense, yeah? Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. So we can just work with timelines in January. There'll be the community created, then from there we can be able to communicate more, maybe on the specific dates. Yes.
So my question would be, we are quite a large number, right? Do we actually just break that down and have maybe a group with maybe a finance person inside?
Yes.
So like a group of people discussing one problem, but it's easier because I feel like we have a virtual meeting for 50 people solving one thing.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So I could break that down. So we used to, in security, I'm gonna put this, we usually have simulation groups. So in the simulation groups, you have people in information security, you have people in finance, that's a CFO, you have the CEO, and you have engineering. So, and then, sorry? Oh, and then we have PR. Let's say PR. and somebody. Okay, so yes, madam. So and then we had like places where we would give a scenario of an attack. Some of them are actually actual simulations. Some of them are actual attacks. So then it's the job of that entire team, the CFO, to come up with what he do. It's the job of the CEO to come up with what you do. It's the job of the marketing guys and PR to come up with how they're going to convey an attack to user information to the public. How will they do that? As the and then there's the CISO, that's the Chief Information Security Officer, to come up with a way to counter the attack. And then we have guys in engineering who are actually fixing the issue. It's a whole team. Yeah, it's the teamwork makes the dream work. Yeah. So with that in mind, and I think that's why we were doing the conversation on who we are, what we do, is for us to actually understand the people we have here. And sorry for those who did not get to introduce themselves. I think with the WhatsApp group you can do that, and then we get to understand who we have, and then with that we can actually be able to create groups or teams that have everybody, including our CMO, yeah, and the queen of blockchain. We can have those guys, and then if you're trying to build a human-centered product with design in mind, with psychology in mind, with marketing in mind, you need all these people in this different department before it actually gets to the dev and they start to build a particular product, and also know how we actually arrived in a green button rather than a red button. Yeah.
Okay, great. I think, is there anyone who has anything else to add on? Yes.
Of course, they're humans as well.
I'm sorry for talking too much. The last one is, can the team organizing it, I know you guys are, the developers will hate this word, but could the team structure some kind of psychometric test? Psychometric test, the one that you have, the personality one and then the skill one, so that you're able to better arrange the database of the people who are there, so that if there's someone, because there are people I've not heard from that I'd really love to actually hear how they're thinking and whatnot. And it's very easy to do that with the psychometric test, because it filters people in green, yellow, red, depending on their personality and backgrounds. And then you're able to mix the groups in a more...
Sorry?
Okay. No, it's not, it's actually those moving shapes. The one that, it gives you more exact results about personality than a form of how will you feel and then agree strongly. So I'm more like they're the CPP, and they're the one that actually gives you results that help you make a team.
Like different personalities, they are. Okay.
So instead of us having one big Zoom meeting of 50 of us going, so who wants to be in my group? Then it will be, then the yellows meet the greens, then since it's data driven, it's more to the point.
We've started speaking that jargon again. No. Yeah. I think Tumi has that down. Tumi, you written. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's it.
Yeah, I guess that's it. There'll be more communication in the group. On that note, for those who kind of arrived a bit late, I'm sure you're working with a different time zone, yeah? So kindly meet me over here so that I can check you guys in, and if you're interested in the community, so that you can be able to get that started. Cool? All right, awesome.
All right. Yeah. We forgot something?
One last thing. One last thing. Now for the techies now who might want to be in a hackathon tomorrow, we have an awesome hackathon happening right here. Now you already know the location. There's no excuse. You know where it will be from morning to evening, and the theme will be on music and entertainment. Hey, creatives who are in the tech space, I think you'll shine tomorrow. If you're looking for a sign, this is it. Yeah, so we'll have a hackathon tomorrow. Yes, please purpose to attend. There'll be prizes for those who do well, but at the end we said our purpose is creating solutions, solving problems. Yes? I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's a week here.
Thank you. Okay, so Fiona is gonna do the closing remarks for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good night. No, I'm just playing. So, just a quick thing, because I know y'all want to get home. I hope the men don't feel like predators. I know it's a woman kind of thing. But any Kendrick Lamar fans? Kendrick Lamar? So, hey man. So, lyric, women be the tastemakers, excuse my language, for the shit we making, right? So this means that y'all are already naturally born leaders, because this is being tested on y'all and they want your opinions. So everyone here is a leader. So move forward with that energy, trust in yourself, and see what you can do from now on to initiate conversations. Don't always wait for other people. Like y'all minds is amazing. You know what I mean? y'all are really intelligent. Y'all have amazing ideas. Push it forward. Go forward with it. So I believe in everyone in this room. Do your thing. Have a beautiful night. And thank you so much for showing up. We will see you tomorrow or some other time.
Thank you.
This is the part where you network and talk to the